emotional overwhelm isn't a personal failure, right? So emotional overwhelm isn't a weakness, it is information. We got to be able to be intuitive with ourselves, with compassion, love ourselves. We're going to be spending more time by ourselves in this lifetime than, you know what I mean? You got to know yourself, right? So I really want us to be intuitive, look at the information. I always advocate for times of solitude, really be able to think about things in a positive reframing, right? What's going on? How do I feel, right? Am I doing self-care? What things I can do to get the resources, to get the support that I need, right? So really like knowing what's going on, know where we're heading, right? Having that sense of direction, right? So I really want us to be intuitive, right? So if you're feeling overwhelmed, it doesn't mean that you're failing, right? Means that a system is, that you're carrying a lot, right? So I really want us to understand like what it is to be overwhelmed. If something's going on, that is a signal that we got to be able to navigate and tap into, right? So let's dive into some normalize and reducing some shame, right? So many people interpret overwhelming, as a feeling of, I should handle this in a better way, right? Or I could be doing better, or you're ruminating, right? There's a lot of thoughts that are coming, that's spiraling. It's just, the anxiety is increasing, right? So, we compare ourselves to other people's capacities as well, right? We assume strong people don't feel flooded, right? They perfect. They ain't got, Like, they ain't dealing with what I'm dealing with, right? So that's why I always advocate for, like, mind your business, right? You don't know what else someone else has got going on, right? So just because someone got money, the Maserati, big crib, all this other stuff, you don't know what they got going on, right? So that's why I'm saying it's really important for you to worry about yourself, right? Worry about what you got going on, right? Because you're overwhelmed, right? So overwhelm happens with all of us. Let's just be real, right? Especially when demands exceed available emotional resources, right? We don't have the abundance, or we may not have, the resources at hand. So it feels overwhelming. Do we have what it takes to complete this mission or whatever the situation may be, right? Feeling too much doesn't mean that you are too much. It just, we need some support. Let's just be real. So let's dive into some psychoeducation, some simple ways to be grounded. I always advocate for us to be able to keep our nervous system at ease, right? So the nervous system is designed to detect and respond to overload, right? When stress stacks out, without that recovery, our brain shifts into survival mode. When we're in survival mode, clarity, patience, and focus decreases, right? That's what's keeping us, in this irritable state, making us feel uncomfortable, having the anxiety, thrive around the body. And like I said, our nervous system is in that survival mode. So we're trying to figure this thing out, right? So the core insight I really want us to take into consideration is that your nervous system is not broken. It's protected, right? So that's really what's keeping you alert. It's keeping you feeling that overwhelmed because something doesn't feel right, right? So like I said, that's keeping us protected, right? So overwhelm is what happens when your body says this is a lot, right? So this is a red flag. This is something that we got to be able to take